Well, hello, friends of Pirate R. It's me, E. Giuliano, and it is 23rd May. Well, that day is actually finished officially in UTC time. We are into the early hours of 24th May. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well. Hit the like button, make your comments, really appreciate it. And I just, yeah, wishing you all the best here. We're going to share the screen and look at some charts. Pirate Chain, RUSDT, and RBTC. Let's take it on from here. You know, so many lessons to learn, and I hope that you're learning them. We're all learning the lessons we need to learn. And one of the ideas to think about is considering selling into strength so that then you can pick up on the real like capitulation moves. However, watch out, because when you sell into strength over here, see how you sell into strength here and you sell into strength here, even up into here. Oh, wow, I got the top. Well, look, you could buy back in here. Finally, you'd be breaking back in at an even level. But you see, though, it's not always in your favor. So good strategies of strong holding while also selling into strength to basically rebalance, and then then you can be in better positions overall. And that's the idea. That's one of the lessons. Another lesson is this looks like a very nice zigzag pattern. Looks like a very nice zigzag pattern. Well, maybe we're coming to the end of it. Interesting. Let's see what comes of it. I'm finding that the Pirate Chain USDT chart compared to the Pirate Chain BTC chart are quite different and interesting. Let's take a little stock of what's going on here, and then we'll move on. I don't want to make this super long. I'm going to do a bit of research, on triangles, particularly expanding triangles, and you'll see why in a moment. Just going to learn a bit more about that. We've talked about zigzags, we've talked about flats in this channel so far. We haven't really talked about triangles much, and I think we might have the opportunity to find one, but not sure yet. Okay, just like we're hunting for patterns here. Well, let's take a look at our lagging indicators. Friends of MACD, we seem to be really in this negative now. I'm glad. It looks like we might be playing out the rest of the massive dump. This daily candle here of 23rd May is a nice buying here in the $2 level. So we did make it. Remember, we were wondering, well, we're here. All of you divers, you still have your scuba gear on, because it is time. Like, the sharks are swimming about, but you know what? I think they've been fed well enough that those of you who are still here, you are grabbing up some great treasures that other people have dropped. Count yourself lucky. Now, who's to say it won't continue down? I do think that there's potential for a final impulse down at some point here. Maybe we'll get a bit of a sideways correction for a few days or even during this week, and then further down. But this might be the final capitulation in the dollar chart, at least for this type of level. And then we might find our new level before figuring out what happens next. Okay, this is possible. I think this is highly tied to the BTC, but it looks like the zigzag is just about playing out and finished. And we are going to use, let's use a line chart to find that out. Oh, actually, before we do that though, let's just include some more of our indicator friends. Okay, so yes, so interestingly, the daily moving averages are bound to cross here potentially. Let's see though, we did have an interesting zone here, this orange zone that we had around the 325 level has held in terms of the body of a candle support roughly, but we did get that big wick down. So we'll see what it looks like with the line chart, but overall we have, okay, confirmed we are through our Ichimoku cloud sideline here. Much lower than I would have potentially expected. Like the angle that we took here, this angle that we took here, is, yeah, that's a way steeper slope than I might have expected it to be. So in a way that's good, because because it confirms that, yeah, we're pretty good with this zigzag, and I think we are ready to, it's ready to be cleared out. It's ready to move on, and that feels good. And it's interesting because in terms of time, when we were looking at our time situation, we had seen that there's a potential for this 23rd May, and it looks like the potential that that holds is some sort of well, we didn't see it with this line, so some sort of, well, I'm just fishing now. So the point is, don't fish. We found it probably with this date bar, but anyway, we had our 20 days, our 40 days, our 20 days, and our 40 days. So I don't know. I mean, go back and check the videos. There, we found May 23rd, 24th a number of times. And so maybe that's going to be some sort of turnaround time zone for us. And yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at, right? We're here, and this is so far 30 bars. So that was part of what we were looking at. This was part of the confluence, which would be half of the previous correction that was back there. All right, and it is 1.5 of the up thrust, which was about 20 bars. Okay. All right, so that's the kind of idea there we got with time, with the USDT chart. Ideas are coming in. And then lastly, I just want to see if we are zigzagging here. Let's just use the line chart. Line chart to show us that we are at this point here. Oops, we want to find the extension because we know we're on a wave C. So we take a fib extension, go to the end of wave A, top of wave C, which is the end of wave B, which we're saying is about here. Yeah, that looks about right. Looks like we're just about done. And it's roughly around the 618 level of wave A. And I think that's fine based on just a log chart. If we were doing it differently, it would look, well, differently, but that's another story. So if you look here, I do see an impulse completed here. It looks like LMS is going to be a massive fifth wave down to here, and that's okay. Hey, that's possible. We said $2 was even in play. This could be a big fifth wave down to the $2 level. All right, that could be our situation. All right, it's not out of the woods yet. Okay, we're not completely out of the woods yet, because yeah, we would want to really retrace this back up pretty strongly, even if it comes back down, but it would want to show a strong retrace to show that this kind of down impulse has been corrected for in this short term. Otherwise, yeah, we're coming down to here, and that's going to be the zigzag situation. Okay. Interesting. And we're going to see this retracement now. Just let's retrace our B wave with the C wave. Okay, interesting. So there you go. It's past the 1618 of the C wave. The C wave, sorry, is more than 1618 of this potential B wave here from here to here. Okay, now C looks like a elongated format right there. Okay, all right. So there you have it in with the daily chart. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit distracted here. I want to just finally close it out with this sucker right there. Yeah, that's kind of where we are with the RSI, and we're just going to wait for it to load up. Load, 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 loady, loady, load. Load. Well, I guess our sucker, oh, because this is the dollar chart, that's why. Okay, USDT didn't come along on, this is Coin Exchange and we're using Get Aurochs, so that's why, there you go. That's the reason for that. But we're roughly around the type of low areas where we have seen it before. Okay, all right, interesting. Well, we'll see where it goes. I think overall, no surprises. We have said the possibilities are here. It was, we were hoping, but hope is not the right way. So down is the play. That's it. All right. Okay. So where next? Well, possibly, let's see if it keeps dumping other down to here expectedly, or we're going to reverse and reversing back up for the next little while, maybe up to like the $4 level. Yeah. All right. So that's that. Oh, and weekly closes. Boom. So interesting. This is now very interesting how this dollar chart is playing. So this is this week here. So we'll ignore this flatness here, and we'll just say the close is here. So now we have an interesting thing happening. All right, let's see how we do. Let's see how this does. Like, what is this shaping up to be? Because I imagine that it would be more angular in line, so that we would find it maybe by the end of this week down here. But that didn't happen. Oh, this is an interesting pattern shaping up here. Time will tell. Yep. All right, stick around to find out. Okay. Okay. Cool. Now, moving along. That's the ARRR-USDT chart. We are just into this ARRR-BTC chart, and I want to show you. We're hunting for patterns, and we're seeing something interesting here. So firstly, this one is just somewhat of a different story, isn't it? So here's our daily candle here on the ARRR-BTC chart. There she goes. And again, some good buying support down into the, wow, 8,000 Satoshi level. Did it hit 777? Oh my gosh. And then now we're back up here, but you can see still potential weakness. So yeah, we're likely done, not done, especially on the BTC chart. The USDT chart's a different story. And it's looking like, you know, on this sucker. Well, this is daily chart. So let's just go through some of our lagging indicators. Oh, and here we are passing through the side of the cloud wall. And then with the Bollinger Band, we haven't really tested this band too much. Here we did, and we popped right back in. So are we going to test it further, or is it already so wide that, you know what, it's not like, how do you say, narrowing and getting wound up for an impulsive move? We already made an impulse move from here, and maybe that was enough that we're kind of just going to hang here and then find our sideways until the bands compress, and then hopefully our move is back up. And that's what we're imagining it's going to be, but that's might take some time. So okay, so what's happening here? Well, we had this zigzag type of move down, and now I'm wondering here, what's happening here? Is this potential for some sort of expanding triangle? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it is that flat pattern with an impulse move down that makes a bigger zigzag pattern. But now the question is, maybe it's a combination. Maybe it's a combination of the zigzag down to here, and then this makes a pattern. Or you'll have a zigzag down to here with some sort of X wave up, and then we have our start of our triangle, which would be an A wave, a B wave, and now making a C wave, and then potentially a D wave, and then that would be a concern, because then our E wave would probably break down below here, but then go higher up. But then it might get to this cloud here, and then and then we're out. we're done with that possibly for now. So yeah, so we're going to keep watching that, and I'm going to dive into that idea, because on the BTC chart, that's kind of what's playing out here, or at least that looks like what it could be playing out. But we're going to look at all the alternatives and opportunities and see what's happening. So here's the RSI, what's happening. So there is some sort of divergence, I think, that we were finding in different charts, but on the RSI, like, okay, so we're gonna just go to the line chart. Let's just bite that bullet. Before we do that, oh, I didn't look at a daily close on the candle for the weekly. Let's do that on the BTC chart. Daily candle close. Wow, big daily candle close, red. One thing I wanted to say about the daily chart also on the USDT chart is there was a lot of red in a row. So eventually we're going to stabilize at some point. So let's see where that is. All right, interesting though, engulfing bearish, engulfing candle red. Let's see what that means for this week. Okay. Whew. All righty. Back to the day. All right, so this is basically the idea here, hanging out around the low 10, a higher mid 9,000 Satoshi levels, sorry. And yeah, we're just trying to find our way. I'm gonna make a move to the line chart, but first let's just take a look here again. MACD, this is the one with a potential for some divergence in the histogram, but it's not clear. So we're not really hanging any hats on that type of stuff right now. Okay, all right, I'd rather investigate some potential patterns and say, now I could be completely wrong with even thinking about this as like an actual type of an expanding triangle, but it is showing what it's showing, and that is lower high, lower low. So it's sort of like this high here, this low, this higher high, and now potentially, well, it actually is a lower low. And then we'll see, is it gonna hit a higher high? That's an interesting move. But if it, so depending where the triangle is starting, the E wave might be long and arduous compared to the others. But other than that, it has a potential here. So that's kind of what I'll be watching going forward for the next number of days and even 2-3 weeks to see what is playing out. Okay, and yeah, stay with me. I'm wishing you all well. Hope you're getting out there, moving around, and having some good times through all of the difficulties in life. Okay, so we'll see where we're going with this. All right, no specific thoughts other than there's a potential here for this expanding triangle position. The other idea was that this was going to be an A wave down, a B wave up, and a C wave down before then, you know, of a bigger type of zigzaggy pattern, and then moving on to the next formation. All right, that's about it. I will just go back to the weekly chart on the line. And we have, yep, this kind of flat pattern where we are now saying that if this is the case here, bang, 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 all right, potential, fine. And we've got it doing what we said, we're gonna retrace the B wave. And we're nearing that. So it's definitely a common flat pattern here. Okay, we'll see what happens this week, what type of close it gets, but definitely into some sort of common flat. All right. Well, that's the potential so far. But again, the angle has really shifted into a more shorter time frame, higher price drop. Okay, anyway, that's where we are. And I am just going to go back over to the daily chart on the dollar, just FYI and FMI to look at that weekly candle close. Boom, yeah, bearish engulf. I mean, that's just like on a different level, that candle. That weekly candle is on a different level. All right. Woo. We call this the my oh my. All right. Take care, everyone. I'm wishing you well. I'm going to sign out for now. Until next time, peace.